Hey, welcome back to Big Ben's Movie Show. Thanks for checking in. This week on the show, we got some great stuff. We're going to be talking about the Oscars a lot. We're going to be talking about Lego Batman. We're going to be talking about The Great Wall. And my guest for all of this for this week, Jason Allen. Jason, how you doing?
Good to be back on the show.
Excellent. Yeah, we love having Jason back. It was great having him on the show last time. So let's go ahead and get started with the headlines. Here we go. All right, number one, got to check in with Batman. The Batman movie, or the Batman roller coaster, or however you want to talk about it. It's up and down, and there was two big things since the last time we did the show. One, after Ben Affleck stepped down, Matt Reeves, the director of Dawn of the Planet of the Apes and War for Planet of the Apes, stepped up and said that he would direct the Batman movie. That lasted about a week because as of Friday, he's off. It happened just that fast. That he was into the movie, he was looking at the script for the movie, and then just like that, he's off, which begs the question, is this movie actually ready to go? Because the reason Ben Affleck stepped away was the script's not ready and he didn't want to do it. Then we have this new guy come on and he looks at it and says, oh crap, your movie is not ready to go. And he jumps off too. I mean, at this point, it feels like they might need to just go back to the drawing board and start all over again.
Well, certainly, and the thing is too, in the comic wars with comic movies, Marvel is kicking the snot out of DC right now, yeah. And this cannot be helping that cause at all.
No.
It's probably starting to affect other mediums of theirs as well, I would imagine.
Well, and the big thing is that for 2018, they had 3 big tentpole movies that they were all going to release. For DC, that was going to be Aquaman, Flash, and Batman. Flash, we know, that's dead. That we don't know when that's coming back. They're doing a page 1 rewrite. The Batman seemed like it still had life in it, and it might happen. But after this, I think we got to expect that that's not going to end up in 2018. We're not going to be seeing the next Batman movie till 2019, maybe even further out than that. And there's another rumor going around that Affleck wants off the movie completely. That he's going to finish out his run with the Justice League as Batman, but then after that, we're going to have to go get a whole new Batman. So,
I tell you, if Aquaman is what we have to look forward to from DC, you're definitely on the ropes.
At the same time, though, like enough as I would totally agree, like, oh, Aquaman, that's going to suck. But the images look amazing. Jason Momoa is like this ripped, like hulked out Aquaman with long hair and a beard, and I'm like, damn, that guy looks dope. And I wouldn't have expected that from Aquaman. But with James Wan, the horror movie director, directing the movie, this could be really interesting. So as much as DC is looks like they're really hurting, the early reviews for Wonder Woman have come out. Those are really great. Aquaman's looking great. So maybe this is what they need to do, is just take their time, do it right, build up the movie slowly instead of running right till the end of the Avengers line and launching Justice League. Maybe that's what Warner Brothers needs to do. So.
For sure.
All right. Next up, it's Oscar time this weekend, and the ballots were due as of today, actually. We're taping this on Wednesday before the Oscars, and the ballots were due today. And the interesting thing about that is people are already submitting their ballots, and along with their ballots, they're actually sending these out to the press, and the press are getting a look at the ballot too. And one of them caught a lot of press's eye because this person held nothing back and was brutal to some of these movies. The voter went out there and explained in her ballot, Arrival sucked. So Arrival's nominated for Best Picture and Best Screenplay and a couple other things. And in every one of those categories, when she chose to talk about Arrival, she immediately wrote it off completely. Like in each category, it was like, oh, Arrival sucked, not even a chance. And then she'd get down to the other one, oh, you know how I feel about that piece of crap Arrival. She lit into Arrival. She also, under the Best Actress category, she wrote, I liked none of them. So she's forced to vote for one of them, but didn't like any of them. And then the last bit regarding the foreign film nominee, Tony Erdmann, she said, Germans are not funny. Just blanket statement about all Germans. All Germans not funny. I disagree.
There's none that come to mind immediately, but you can't just write off all Germans as not funny. Austrian.
Yeah. So, anyway, that's going to wrap up the headlines for this week. There's really not a lot going on besides the Oscars, and we're going to go over my picks later on here in the show. Let's go ahead and get right into movie reviews. Now, for Jason, you saw The Great Wall, but before we talk about that, I did want to talk about, this is 2 weeks ago, but of course, I don't know if you're aware, but there was a kind of a national emergency going on here in the north part of California with the Oroville Dam. So that's why we didn't do the show last week. But I did watch last week the Lego Batman movie, and I gotta say, I really liked it. I went in worried. I was worried that, because the Lego movie for me is a 9. It's a great movie, great for kids, great for adults, tons of jokes, and also this wonderful moral center that deals with heart and creativity. And does your creativity fade as you get older, or do you just need to keep reigniting the fire? So the Lego movie for me is way up here. The Lego Batman movie, I was worried was going to end up somewhere down in the middle, but no, I laughed my butt off through a lot of the movie. It really pays great homage to all the Batmen of old. At one point, Batman is punching the Joker in the face, and with every punch, he turns into a former Joker of the past.
Wow.
So yeah, so like one punch and he turns into the pimp Joker from Suicide Squad. Another punch, he turned into Heath Ledger for a second. Another punch after that, he's Jack Nicholson. Wait till they get a load of me.
Boy.
And then after that, Cesar Romero with the crappy mustache.
Sweet.
Over the top of the Joker makeup. Yeah, it's all in there. There's also this great bit where right as they're about to get into a fight, Batman turns to Robin and goes, "Let's punch these guys so hard that the sounds that our punches make will become words in the air." Definitely riffing on the old 60s Batman show, where every time he would punch somebody, you would see on the screen, bam, pow, zap somehow, because that's the sound you make when you punch somebody. So yeah, Batman, the Lego Batman movie, really great. I'd give it about an 8. So it's not much of a drop off from the Lego movie, other than the fact that the moral of the story is a little more plain, a little more basic, a little more kid friendly. But all in all, the plot of the movie, the writing of the movie, and the performances are top notch. Definitely, if you've got a kid, take your kid to see it. If you don't have a kid and don't want to look creepy, grab some kid off the street and take them to see the movie. It's that good. The court case will be worth it. All right, now getting into the movie that we both actually saw, The Great Wall.
Great film. Very, very visual film. Very visually arresting. From beginning to end, just can't keep my eyes off of it. Just all kinds of just wonderful imagery. Nothing really hokey about it. Even the monsters were, obviously they were
fairly original though, yeah.
Very, very original monsters. Their construct, but just also their appearance, the way they moved and stuff. And it wasn't almost. Let's take 300 for an example.
Okay.
The monsters in that film, I was not convinced. There was no realism to me, sense of realism to me about those. These, I could almost see them actually existing at some point in the Earth's history.
Because they were very lizard-like. It was really, you were looking at some kind of a lizard, with the exception that the eyes, instead of being on the head, were on the shoulder.
Right.
That really was the only difference between, maybe like a large Gila monster or something like that and one of these.
Absolutely. Going into it, I was having a really hard time. I was wondering if Matt Damon was really going to be a good fit for this particular film. I had visions of Kevin Costner in Robin Hood.
Okay.
Just some guy, some American doofus.
There's definitely one similarity that definitely shows up in their accents.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was kind of leery about that, but I after a while, after the film got going, I kind of forgot about that because the visuals just really took over. I thought Matt Damon's performance was a little wooden, honestly, but the performances around him were fantastic, particularly from the Asian actors.
Yes, I would completely agree. Also, the man who plays his partner, fresh off his tour of Game of Thrones, where he played the Prince of Dorne, did a great job. Willem Dafoe, who kind of snuck into the movie. Like, I didn't know he was going to be there. And then it was like, oh, hey, look, it's Willem Dafoe.
Quite literally.
He just kind of showed up and you were like, oh, what a pleasant little surprise. He doesn't do anything, but he's there, so that's nice. But yeah, Matt Damon's accent is very hokey. Like, I couldn't quite catch a beat on it for a while, and then I realized it's bad Irish.
Yeah,
what he's going for.
It's like he was a Bostonian trying to be an Irishman, which is exactly what he is.
Yeah. So it's and he had the rhythm of it maybe down, but none of the inflection.
Yeah, absolutely not.
So yeah, it ends up just sounding odd.
Well, and Pedro Pascal's character, he didn't really get his accent going either until after he lost the beard, after they cleaned up.
Yes.
In the chambers there. So
yeah.
The accents were like kind of the weakest link of it.
For him, that's actually the accent that he uses. At least it's the same one he used on Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's but yeah, I thought he was really good in it. I completely agree. Visually, this movie is breathtaking. Although at one point, all the soldiers in the movie wear different colored sets of armor to kind of identify with their rank and their position in the army. And at one point, they just have the generals of the army all lined up, and it looked like Power Rangers for a quick second.
Yeah, a little bit.
There's a purple one and a blue one and a red one and a yellow one, and I'm like, holy crap, it's morphin' time.
All right.
But luckily it wasn't. It was actually they kind of conveyed with it a sense of honor and prestige, and it really just ended up being beautiful. Amazing shots too of them holding the banners and the wind whipping the banner flags in the air. This movie, the director of this movie is also the director of Hero, a couple other really House of Flying Daggers. So he's known for having this distinct, beautiful visual style, and it definitely comes through in this one too. This really felt like it was a marriage of that beautiful visual style with kind of more of a traditional Hollywood blockbuster thing, and that's really what we ended up getting, was beautiful Chinese cinema mixed in with kind of hokey and fun American monster mash 'em up, beat 'em up things.
Absolutely. I would definitely recommend this if you haven't seen it yet. I would check it out.
Out of a 10, what do you think you'd give it?
I would definitely give it an 8.5, if not a 9.
Wow.
The only thing holding it back for 10s for me was the accent thing.
Okay.
But as far as just like the visuals, if you're there just to watch a movie, that's one to watch if you're into watching.
Okay, and I'm going to go a little bit lower, just because for me the story was fairly simple and it was fun. It was enjoyable. It wasn't an 8 for me though. So for me it's going to be about a 6.5, just because it is more of a traditional, there's monsters at the gate and you got to kill them type thing. But it's one of the better versions of that you're going to see, and especially visually. Visually, it's on like an Oscar level, and then story-wise, it's a summer movie level. So yeah, a little bit of mixture there. All right, so that's The Wall. Moving right along next, looking at the Oscar picks. The Oscars, as I've already mentioned, are this weekend. And last year on the show, I believe we did a whole panel on how to win your Oscar pool. Those rules still apply. Look for anything that's foreign, especially English. Also this year, look for a backlash against last year's Oscars So White movement. And you're going to see that in some of my picks. So here we go. I'm just going to do the big 5, Best Picture, Best Actor, Best Actress, and then Supporting Actor, Supporting Actress. I have a thought on Director, but I'll save that to the end. Okay, so here we go. For Best Picture, my pick is La La Land. Did you see La La Land?
I haven't seen La La Land. I will say this though, I have a pulse, I have ears, and I have eyes. La La Land's gonna win.
Yeah, it's being mentioned everywhere. It's the hot one. It's a love letter to Hollywood, a love letter to the lifestyle that Hollywood can give you, a love letter to old Hollywood. This is the kind of stuff that Oscar voters just freak out on and watch 20 times and. It just harkens back to all their old childhoods that they love so much. So yeah, I definitely think La La Land's going to win Best Picture. Going from there to Best Actor. This one, Ryan Gosling is nominated for La La Land, but I don't think he's going to win. He does a good job in La La Land, but the going by the Golden Globes, by a couple other award shows that have already happened, Casey Affleck is the name here. That's what everybody's saying. I haven't seen Manchester by the Sea because I've heard that it is ridiculously sad, and I'm already living in a world where Trump is my president. So I don't need any more help getting sad. So yeah, I'm a pass on that.
Carry on.
Okay. So going on from Best Actor, the next one up is Actress. And in this one, I'm going back to La La Land. I'm going back to The Well. It's Emma Stone. I think her performance in La La Land was great. In fact, I think she had a little bit more to do and a little bit more heavy lifting than Ryan Gosling did. In your research, have you heard anything about her chances of?
In my research, basically anything that's nominated is going to win. I happen to agree with your assessment on Casey Affleck, which surprises me. I never thought an Affleck would be nominated for anything.
Affleck's been nominated several times.
In this day and age.
Okay, I was going to say, because Affleck's already got an Oscar for writing.
Yeah, let me qualify that. Well, let me further qualify it in acting also.
And then an acting Oscar. This is true, because the other one that he won is for producing.
Correct.
For Argo, it's weird to think, though, Ben Affleck, 2-time Oscar winner. You're like, really? For the Geely guy?
What world do we live in?
Daredevil? Really?
Yeah.
But he's got that second chapter of his career that's going quite well.
Yeah.
So, supporting actor, and this is where the Oscar so white kind of comes into play. Mahershala Ali definitely did an amazing job with Moonlight. His portrayal is great. This guy has kind of been under the radar for a long, long time, though. I was watching him way back in the day on a show called The 4400 on USA, which was a sci-fi show about people who got taken away by aliens and then brought back to Earth and given special abilities to help Earth evolve. And he was great on that show. He's been great on House of Cards. He was great in Luke Cage, and he's great in Moonlight. So it's not a surprise to me that Hollywood has now found this guy. I would imagine he's going to be getting a lot of really great roles over the next couple of years. So one to watch out for, Mahershala Ali. And yes, I did have to learn how to say that name. So, all right, and the last one on the list, this one is from Fences. This is Viola Davis. This is the one that, and again, this is the one where it's just word of mouth. I've been hearing the name on all the lists, all the chatter for who's going to win this. It really seems like it's definitely hers. I don't even hear about who a dark horse candidate might be in terms of somebody else winning it. At this point, it's Viola Davis. I'm going to say of all of these, she and Casey Affleck are my locks. Like, those are the ones that I feel the best about. So, yeah.
Even over La La Land.
Over La La Land.
Wow.
Because here's the thing, Moonlight's still out there. Like, La La Land won Best Golden Globe for comedy or musical, but Moonlight won for drama. And the Oscars love drama.
Oscars do love drama.
They love drama.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So those are out there for that. All right.
Hey Ben, it's Nick Schreiner here. I am outside Jimmy Kimmel's studio, right across from the Dolby Theater where the 89th Annual Academy Awards will be filmed. I've never been more comfortable holding my phone as a selfie. It is just, it's still early and it's just swarming with tourists and buskers and some guy just trying to get you on that bus. And I could not be more disappointed with my frame here. I mean, I am right outside of Jimmy's theater. I think he had something to do with getting their star. But in order to get my predictions, my wants, and who I actually think is going to win, I just need to get a better shot. And here's who's coming right now. It's Mickey Mouse. Minnie Mouse. Minnie Mouse, who do you think is going to win Best Supporting Actress? She doesn't know. She says, no, Moana. I haven't seen Moana. I have seen Zootopia, which I think is going to win. I saw Zootopia in the ArcLight Cinemas. Is in 3D. I was by myself in the whole theater, which I think seeing Zootopia 3D by myself is a little bit of an insight into what my life is like. But I'm pulling. I think that's going to win. But I want to win is Kubo and the Two Strings from Leica Cinema. They've done a bunch of really cool stuff. So I can't stand this shot. So I'm going to give you the rest of my predictions. I'm going to go for it, okay? So we'll see what happens. A little climb. Let's see how our new frame is. Oh, much better. Okay, so I think La La Land is going to do some sweeping. I want La La Land is going to win Best Picture, but I want... I also think it's going to win, but what I want is Hidden Figures to win. That's the movie I enjoyed the most as far as what's been nominated. What I think Denzel's going to win Best Actor, but I want Viggo to win. The reason Denzel's going to win Best Actor is because he did the most acting out of anyone in the category. Oh shit. Oh, I'm still safe up here. Sorry for the S-bomb. But you can see So all the way down there, that's where this is all the red carpets is going to happen. We are luckily hidden from the pillars here. So what else can I tell you about my predictions? I think, I already mentioned animated. Oh, for Best Supporting Actress, I think that Viola Davis is going to win because she did a lot of acting there too, and she had the snot. She had that whole snot thing going, and I don't think it's the snot is what's going to win, but it's not gonna hurt her, you know. But Nicole Kidman is who I want to win because I just think that she just had the best acting in that. Every scene in Lion, she was there. She was with it. There was just some magnetic kinesthetic happening going on in all of her scenes. So if you hadn't seen Lion, watch it for Nicole Kidman. What are we missing? We got Best Feature. I want Vigo to win. Captain Fantastic was so fantastic, and he really had that whole tour de force feeling. Can you see me? Or am I still here? It's like you can't see me, but you can see a horrible shot of the production going on here. There we go. That's a little better. I'm about to get kicked out. I want to make sure my bike doesn't get jacked either. But hi, say hello, and also the noise. We were drawing a bit of a crowd below us. Who is this guy with the camera? He says, "Oh, don't mind me. I'm just a German with a selfie stick." I need a selfie stick. My dad saw my last review. He says these need to be funnier. But movies aren't meant to be funny. This is serious business we're talking about. I also, what did I want to talk about? I'm forgetting about something, my plan. I don't know what I'm meant to talk about. I think that the La La Land is going to do a lot of sweeping because the Oscars, the Academy loves movies about movie making. Argo, The Artist. You know, I think that's what we're going to see. I don't think that what's his name, Affleck, Affleck's going to win. He did a great performance, but I think homeboy Denzel's got it. Animated feature. Best supporting the lead actress. Did we already talk about lead actress? I don't know. Oh God, guys, stop me at any time.
Next up on the show, it's time for Suck Not Suck. Here we go. All right, number one on Suck Not Suck. We've got this is cool. This is really exciting. And we didn't give you a chance to look at this, which is a bummer. So the Han Solo film is being made right now, currently being shot, and they just released a photo of the entire cast of the movie. The cool thing about this is we're seeing Alden Ehrenreich dressed as Han Solo in the leather jacket, and we're also seeing Donald Glover with the curls and the little mustache for Lando Calrissian. It's pretty. Have you seen this picture yet?
I have seen the picture. Yes.
Okay. Awesome.
Yes, I have. I'm going to go with not suck on this. I'm going to go with not suck on this, and the only reason I'm saying not suck is Chewbacca looks better than ever.
Chewbacca looks amazing. So interesting thing about that, this is the first movie where Chewbacca will not be played by Peter Mayhew.
Oh, I mean that's blasphemy.
It is, but at the same time, the man can barely walk now. So he barely made it through number 7. In fact, the person playing him in Han Solo is the man who was his stunt double and backup for Episode 7.
Okay.
So he's been trained by Peter Mayhew. Peter Mayhew has given him his blessing. He has been blessed by the great Chewbacca to be the new Chewbacca.
Training to be Chewbacca, that gives me a giggle.
Yeah, no, it's funny. So the background on this kid, he's 6'10". He was a basketball player at Penn State. And instead of trying to go pro and play basketball, he decided to try acting. And here's the problem: when you're acting and you're 6'10", all the other actors are like 5'8". So unless they're all on a stack of apple carts or you're buried down in the ground, there's no way you're getting on camera with most of these people. But playing Chewbacca, he's perfectly suited for. He said when he told all of his friends that he was going to play Chewbacca, everybody just lost their minds.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Very iconic role.
Yeah, that's a really special thing for him. So
awesome, good for him.
Awesome. Okay, and I also say not suck. Han Solo is going to be amazing. Next up, this is kind of interesting. This is about Deadpool 2. We've gotten 2 bits of casting news as rumor. The first one, Kerry Washington, possibly playing Domino. Domino in Deadpool, in the world of Deadpool, is a female assassin, assassin for hire. She's great with guns, and she's got a trademark thing where almost all of her face is completely pale white, except for a black circle over one of her eyes.
I'm going to go with not suck on that aspect.
Okay.
Kerry Washington does have a past playing in superhero films. She was in Fantastic Four, as some of you know. Long pedigree in acting. I'm all for this one. I definitely say not suck.
I agree completely with the Kerry Washington part, because this is a two-part suck, not suck. And Kerry Washington is amazing. My wife watches Scandal, and I might have watched a little bit of it too. So yeah, Kerry Washington is amazing. She was really great in Django Unchained. Yes. I'd be more than happy if she gets Domino. Now, the second half of this, also for Deadpool 2, regards the character of Cable. Cable is a large, again, mercenary for hire who also just sometimes kills people with guns, and he's got a giant robotic arm, and he's got this like lightning fire thing coming out of his face. And the person they've tabbed for this possibly is Pierce Brosnan. I don't know what we're doing here. I mean, why? Of all the names that have come up, like we've heard, Stephen Lang came up, and he already is like walking the earth, looking like Cable, and you just need to put some metal on his arm, and he's good to go. He's even got the little like buzz cut, white haircut. The other name that got tossed around was Kyle Chandler from the Friday Night Lights movies. He's a very competent actor also, but Pierce Brosnan. And I'm trying to think of the last thing Pierce Brosnan did that I didn't think was a big hunk of crap. It's hard. It's not easy to do. I mean, he's been in a lot of junk lately. Yeah, I mean, mostly he seems to be in movies that like my dad gets from Redbox that go straight to DVD. Like that seems to be like his realm right now, and it's baffling to me to think that we're gonna pull him out of that and put him in the sequel to one of the best and most successful movies of 2016. You haven't said anything. You've just been nodding your head, and I'm thinking that's because
suck.
Yeah, that's gonna suck. Please don't put Pierce Brosnan in that movie. That sucks. Anywho, although I will say this, I did see John Wick 2 earlier. That's directed by the guy that's directing Deadpool 2, and he's great. So, give me hope for that. All right, number 3, Alfie Allen, also from Game of Thrones, played Theon Greyjoy, or I believe the other name was Reek.
Yeah, I've never watched Game of Thrones.
Okay, I think it was Reek. So he was the one who was tortured, and was famously tortured and had his manhood removed. It's a really rough part of the show. But yeah, good news is he got cast in a movie called Predator, being directed by Shane Black. This is the relaunch of the whole Predator franchise. Have you seen the Predator movies?
I've seen the originals, absolutely.
Okay.
Fun trivia fact, 2 future governors played in the original.
Yes, they did. The original movie,
yes.
Jesse the Body Ventura and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
True story.
Yeah, that's kind of amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like looking, I was doing my research for this, and I was really looking for like some future political folks that might step out of this someday. And the closest one I can get to is coming out of this remake is Keegan-Michael Key, and that's not close.
Keegan-Michael Key would play. He'd be great. I'd vote for him.
Of course I would. He's an improv guy. He's, guy after my own heart. That being said, I'm giving this a tentative not suck.
Okay.
I'm just kind of seeing how they do this. The interesting thing is I've looked over the cast of who's doing this. A very, very pretty cast for a Predator movie. Very pretty.
Yeah.
Olivia Munn, Jacob Tremblay, Boyd Holbrook. All these people.
Kind of a couple comedic stars in there too. People that are normally doing comedies and are now trying their hand at
yeah. Keegan-Michael Key, of course,
and Olivia Munn both are kind of come from the world of comedy.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm really interested to see what they do with this. I mean, the comedy in the original was very, very ham-fisted, of course.
If there was any at all.
Arnie,
I'm thinking of what was it? Governor Ventura. I ain't got time to bleed.
Yeah.
So did you see the second one with Danny Glover?
I did.
Okay, yeah, and it's the only funny things in that one I'm thinking of are coming from Gary Busey.
Yeah, you know how that went.
Yeah, I'm going to also say not suck on the Predator movie. I'm looking forward to that. All right, number 4 clip came out. This came out yesterday from Beauty and the Beast of Emma Watson singing the opening musical number from Beauty and the Beast.
I watched that trailer myself. Not a bad singing voice. She can carry a tune.
Yeah, she can carry a tune.
That being said, the tune she was carrying was dreadful.
It's not that great.
Oh, dreadful, flat out dreadful. It was trying to be Sound of Music, and it was just mush. It was
I don't think she's got the juice to do that, though.
She doesn't. I mean, no one can be Julie Andrews. But
no, well, and I don't think she can belt the same way. And she's not belting, but she's singing with power. Is the girl from the animated Beauty and the Beast? It's a weaker version. It's definitely like watered down.
Well, she is. I mean, let's call it what it is. It's an actress trying to sing.
Yes.
That's exactly what's going on here.
Yeah.
I give it a suck, but not for her lack of performance. It's just the song was horrible. The material she had to work with. Suck.
It's not a good fit. And I've heard her sing a couple other things from the movie too, and it's with La La Land this year, the singers were just okay, and that was planned. That was actually intentional. Here, the singers are also just okay, and I don't think it's intentional anymore. It's pretty rough. So I know these live action Disney movies are just blowing up, and they got them all planned. I know there's a Lion King coming, there's an Aladdin coming, more and more of them every day. It seems like, but maybe if you're gonna do one that's a big musical, maybe secure somebody who can actually sing.
Yeah.
So don't get me wrong, love Emma Watson. She's great as an actress. Hermione Granger's awesome, and yeah, I'll watch her do anything. It's great. But I'm not thrilled to go see this. No. So I'm going to say suck too. And last one up, this is kind of from the realm of the weird. So this year for his movie Hacksaw Ridge, Mel Gibson got nominated for an Oscar for directing. It's not the first time he got nominated. In fact, the last time he got nominated, he won for Braveheart.
Yeah.
So now this is his second nomination, and it's for Hacksaw Ridge. And because of that, he has now been offered a job doing the sequel to one of the bigger superhero movies of last year, Suicide Squad.
I am very, very weirded out by this also, but at the same time, I'm a little intrigued. I like the idea just simply because it's so out of the box, it could actually work. I'm going to go out on a limb and say not suck on this.
I will join you on that limb because I'm also saying not suck on this. Because here's the thing, I saw Hacksaw Ridge. A lot of people want to write off, even some of my friends want to write off Mel Gibson forever for the stuff that he said. I've heard a lot of people try to tell me about his dad, as if that has anything to do with it. So yeah, a lot of people are ready to write Mel Gibson off. But as a director, as a filmmaker, guy's got chops. Knows what he's doing. Hacksaw Ridge is an amazing movie. Pretty much everything he's directed, movie-wise, is a great movie. I haven't seen the bad Mel Gibson movie yet that he directed. So I also think this could be great. I think he'll add a bit of credibility to the Suicide Squad franchise. The one that came out this last year was a little silly, a little all over the place, didn't really get the best reviews. But Mel Gibson handling an action superhero movie where they don't have to wear tights, because he is on record as saying that he hates when they wear tights. Yeah, he could do a really good thing with this. And he also mentioned that he wanted to see superhero movies that didn't cost so much money, which I really like the idea of. I mean, Deadpool was so great last year, and that was only around $50 million instead of the 100 or 150. Logan's coming out in 2 weeks. That's got a budget of around 40, 50 million. These smaller budget superhero movies, I think, have the potential to do great things, and I'd be really interested in seeing a low budget Mel Gibson Suicide Squad.
More for less, absolutely.
Absolutely.
If you can get away with it, if you've got the talent and the chops to do it, by all means, get her done.
Absolutely, yeah. Because remember, I mean, the thing that gets really pricey is all the CGI, all the computer graphics. Practical effects are great. Do that.
Yeah.
So, anyway, that's going to be it for the show for this week. So thanks so much for watching. You can check out more of me, or if you have questions or concerns about the show, send me an email. It's bigbms@zoho.com. If you want to hear more of what I have to say, you can check me out on my podcasts, Geek Wars Podcast and the Die Hard on a Blank Podcast, both on the Geek Wars Podcast Network. Jason, anything you want to plug?
I got a couple of appearances with my improv group, the Cousin Cephas Improv Project. We are performing at the Maltese on 1600 Park Avenue in Chico on April 12th. It's a Wednesday night, 7 o'clock. Also at the 1078 Gallery on May 20th. It's a Saturday.
Awesome. Go ahead and check us out next week. We should be talking to Jansen Lefevre. Not any big movies coming out, so we're mostly just going to be talking about fallout from the Oscars and all the cool things that happened there. But come back and check us out next week. We'll be having a lot of fun then, too. Good night, everybody.
Good night.